What's good, YouTube? It's me, Dr. Fish King 9. Welcome to another Top 6 Saturdays. This week, we're doing another revival one that I did, last week or the week before, with my top 6 favorite video games of all time. As we're doing a special top 6. My top 10. We're doing a top 10 this week instead of a top 6, because after playing through Gen 6 X and Y and stuff, I've added to my list more, and I really just can't pick 6 of them. It's hard to just say these 6 are my favorite and leave these other 4 out. So what we're going to be doing is my top 10 favorite Pokemon of all time, spreading out from Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow all the way out to Pokemon X and Y. All of those, all 700 something, meshed together. So we'll start it all off with number 10, and number 10 is one that's recently been added to my list as of the events of Generation 6. And that is Sylveon. Sylveon is easily the most Sylveon is the most specially defensive evolution out there. And if you guys know me, I love special attackers, I love special defense, I love fast special attackers, fast special defenders, special anything, psychic, fairy, ghost, stuff like that. I love special type Pokemon, special attackers, special anything. And not only can Sylveon take lots and lots of hits, Sylveon can dish out a lot of damage too. Like, it can dish out a lot of damage with that fairy typing and everything like that, so it can take a lot of hits. And it's only weak to poison and steel types, who you don't really see too many poison types or steel types out there on in competitive battling really too often, so you don't really see that, so you don't really have to worry much about having a weakness to Sylveon. Plus, it's got really good special attack. It can take a lot of hits. It can dish out a lot of hits. It's got a really good versatile moveset. In my X and Y, I ran my Sylveon that I played through the game with. I had Moonblast, I had Shadow Ball, I had Psychic. I had all the good stuff that I would need to completely wreck house. I was taking out Machamps left and right. I was taking out anything I would need to stand against anything. Now, we'll move on to number 9 so I don't take up too much time. But number 9 has a special place in my heart, leading all the way back to my childhood, back when I first saw anything Pokemon. And that Pokemon is also the only legendary on this top 10, Deoxys. Deoxys is one of the first legendaries I've ever seen, because he's from the Pokemon movie Destiny Deoxys, which I do happen to have right here. Bam. My original copy of Pokemon Destiny Deoxys. Now, Deoxys is not only the first legendary I've ever seen, he's also one of my favorites. He's really powerful. He's got multiple different ways to attack you. He's got his speed form, he's got his attack form, and he's got his defend form, and he's got his normal form. Now what's not to love about Deoxys like that? Deoxys is really powerful. He can dish a lot of hits. He can take a lot of hits depending on which form you're using. And it was just the storyline behind him in the movie. It was so touching, knowing what he was trying to do. He didn't want to hurt anyone. He just wanted to get his friend back. It meant so much. It was so cool knowing that. I loved that movie. And that movie right there is the reason I got into Pokemon. Now, number 8 is also another new addition, thanks to my X and Y playthroughs. Because I recently started, a couple weeks ago, or a week or so ago, I started playing again. I started up a new team and everything like that. Started playing through all the gyms and stuff again, because there's no after game to X and Y. So I decided to restart, transferred all my guys over, transferred them back, yada yada yada, all done. Got my main team, and got a whole new team going. And Rhyperior, Rhyperior is crazy good. Rhyperior can take any hit you throw at him, as long as it's not really powerful fighting moves like close combat, and it's not water or grass. He can take anything else. Throw out a frickin', I don't know. You throw out someone really powerful against, it'll take anything. You're fighting someone goes for a stab head smash. He'll tank it. He'll tank a stab head smash from a Pokemon. It's crazy how defensive he is. He's also really powerful. He can hit a lot, he can dish out a lot of hits, and he can tank a lot of hits too. So Rhyperior is another new addition. So, and from this point on, these 7, except for this guy, number 7, you should know him. He was supposedly, I believe he was in my original top 6. So, number 7 on this list is Sceptile. Sceptile is easily first or he's tied right there for 7th, and he's tied right there for 6th with number 6. He's easily my favorite starter. He was not only one of the first starters I ever played with and played around with, and just he's different from just about every other starter out there, or at least grass starter. Because Gen 1 you got Venusaur who's really bulky and sets up with Toxics and Leaf Seed, stuff like that. And then you got Meganium, who's pretty much the exact same way. And then you got Torterra, who mixed it up a little, more physically offensive, but he was still slow and set up. But in Gen 3, Sceptile, he was fast, he can dish out a lot, he was physical, he was special, you could use either one, very powerful. Plus Gen 5 gave him the ability to use Dragon Pulse. Yeah, Serperior is pretty much the exact same as Sceptile, but I like Sceptile way more. Just Sceptile, in my opinion, is so much better than Serperior. And I just kind of think of Serperior as a cheap knockoff of Sceptile, because he's the exact same. But I digress. But Sceptile also leads back to my childhood, because Grovyle I saw Grovyle back in the Destiny Deoxys movie. I was like, oh my god, he looks so cool. I was like, what? I asked my cousin, he's like, why is he just sitting there? Why isn't he playing with the other guys? And everything. And it's just, I watched the anime from that point on, and I was like, oh my god, he's evolving. It was so cool. It was so, or, I don't remember if he did evolve or not, but I saw Sceptile in that. It was like, oh my god, he looks so awesome. And it's just so cool looking back at my childhood like that. So number 6 is tied, like I said, tied with number 7 is 6. 6 and 7 are tied right there. And another really, really super new addition, Delphox. Delphox would have been much higher on this list, but it all comes down to it all just comes back around to childhood and stuff like that. But Delphox is I love Delphox. Delphox was easily my favorite. Was definitely one of my favorite, if not really, was easily my favorite Pokemon on my team. I ran in my original team of X and Y. Not saying I didn't like Sylveon. Sylveon was great. Sylveon was probably let me see. Sylveon was 2nd or 3rd favorite of my whole team. I loved using Sylveon. It was so cool to be able to use someone like that. But Delphox is not only powerful. It's a combination of my favorite 2 types. It's a combination of Fire and Psychic. If you guys know me, Fire and Psychic type Pokemon are my favorite Pokemon out there. I love Fire types, I love Psychic types. And, it'll become even more apparent when you see my top, the 2nd and 3rd on my list, but still. Like, Fire is always just, I've always loved Fire, like, in Avatar: The Last Airbender, or in, the old TV show Avatar: The Last Airbender. I loved the Fire Nation. It was just cool seeing Fire. And I got into Pokemon, the Psychics were so cool to me, it was just, oh my god. And then, so basically, Delphox is a perfect combination of it all. Very fast, very powerful, can dish out a lot of hits, can tank a pretty good amount of hits, can hit back faster than you can say, what just happened? Hit back a second time before you can even say, what just happened after the first hit? And it's just really cool. I love Delphox. I've always loved Togepi's voice or cry in the games and stuff, like Togepi, or in how it was in the anime. How Togepi was in the anime. I can't go as high as Togepi is anymore. I used to, but I can't now. But you get the idea. When you send out when you send out Delphox, it pretty much sounds just like her, like Togepi. It was so cool. But, I guess we'll move on to number 5. Number 5 is another link to my childhood, Swellow. Swellow was I also ran Swellow on my original X and Y team. Swellow was my flying Pokemon of that group, and I love Swellow. It was so cool being able to use a Swellow for once, because I've played Gen 3 the least, but it's got my most favorite Pokemon. It's got my most amount of favorites from that gen, which sucks, but oh well. But Swellow leads back to my childhood, because I just like the look of Swellow. It was pretty cool. So, that's why. And then number 3, we have Corphish / Crawdon. They're pretty much in the same category of it all, but I like Corphish a bit more than Crawdon, just because how Corphish was like the derp, was like that idiot character in the original, in the anime, who was just like, what just happened? Plus, yeah, he's got like he looked so cool. He was like such an innocent character, not realizing he did something wrong when he did. We were just like, how could you be mad at him? But it's just like, it was just cool to see that guy. I liked him. But he leads back to my childhood. And then we've got number 3, who is Torkoal. Also leads back to my childhood. Saw him in the anime. He was so cool, like seeing him and everything like that. I was just like, oh my, it's a fire turtle. That's not supposed to happen in real life. He was so cool. Plus, he's really bulky. He can do a lot of damage. He's pretty offensive as well. I wish he was like Fire Rock or Fire Ground or something, though, more than just Fire. He looks like he'd be a Fire Rock type, or Fire Steel, or Fire something. That'd be pretty cool. A Fire Steel type. Oh wait, no, that's Heatran. No, that's already Heatran, but a Fire Rock type. Is there one of those? I don't think there's a Fire Rock type. That'd be so cool. Oh man, I gotta see that. I would love to see that. A Fire Rock type. Game Freak, get on that. Fire Rock type. Fire Rock type Pokemon. Do it. Number 2 is, you should all, if you guys know me, you know 2 and 1, number 2, and that is Espeon. Espeon is tied. Number 2 and number 1 are tied right there perfectly. I love Espeon to death. Espeon is my favorite. I freaking love her. Espeon is like the best. Now, there's a big story behind it all. Espeon was just, back when I played Gen 4 and everything like that, I had Eevee and everything. I was just training it and everything. I was wondering, how do I evolve this guy? I had no idea about the stones or anything like that. So I just had it as an Eevee, and it was like during the day, because I wasn't really able to play it at night because I was a little kid. And so I was playing it during the day. And then all of a sudden I saw it evolve into this Espeon. I was like, oh my god, she looks so cool. And it's like a pinkish purple. And it's like a purplish pink color too, to add it to it all. And purple's my favorite color. It's like a light purple, dark pink. It's one of those colors. It's more of a magenta or color, I guess you could say. But still, it's still a shade of purple. But it's just so cool to see something like that. And very specially offensive, very fast. Plus, it's got the hidden ability Magic Bounce, which reflects anything. It reflects everything. It reflects spikes, toxic spikes, paralysis, burn, poison, sleep, freeze. I don't know about freeze, but like you get the point. It reflects stealth rocks. It bounces it. Not only deflects it off you, bounces it back at your opponent. I love running it. Every time I have an OU team, I have to run an Espeon. If I don't run an Espeon, I die. I either run an Espeon or a Delphox. I have to run one or the other, neither both. Because they're both psychics. It wouldn't seem right. Yeah. And then number 1, still tied with number 2 Espeon, but I have to give it to this guy a little bit more because the evolution's a bit easier to get compared to having 255 max happiness in the daytime. It's just, but you get the point. Now number 1 is my favorite Pokemon of all time, and that is Gliscor. Gliscor is my favorite. I love Gliscor. Gliscor's got another link to my childhood, just like all but like, all but like 3 are all linked somehow to my childhood. Now, Gliscor, just like my Espeon, I caught a Gligar back in Gen 4 and everything, when it was a Gligar and everything. I transferred everything over to my Gen 5 when I got Gen 5 black and white, and then I got the Razor Fang. I got the Razor Fang. My bad, drew a blank there for a second. I got the Razor Fang. I was like, I wonder what I could do with this. And just thought I could use it on Gligar. I used it on Gligar, and then all of a sudden it evolved into this Gliscor. It's like I had dealt with Gligar for years. I was like, I realized, oh, this guy's just a piece of junk. Like, he's not very good. And then he evolved with the Razor Claw, or with the Razor Fang. Why do I keep saying Razor Claw? That's for Weavile. That's Sneasel into Weavile. But, evolving Gligar into Gliscor, and I was like, oh my god, he's so cool. It's like, all that annoyance I had to go through with just to get to him, I was like, he's not worth it. And I looked at his, I played with him a little bit, I was like, oh my god, he's really cool. Plus, in the anime, Gen 4 made him look like a badass, too. He looked like he looked awesome back in Gen 4. But, that was my top 6, or my top 10. All but, like, a couple led all the way back to my childhood, back when I was younger. Definitely. At least share your at least top 6, maybe. If you have top 10, list your top 10 down below in the comments. Down in the comments below. And I forgot to say at the beginning, but this, as always, is 110% opinionated. And since we're doing 10, I should add it up. It's 150% opinionated this time. So, if you liked it, leave a like down in the comments below. Be sure to hit the subscribe button for more content like this, for more top 6s, some spraying stuff when that comes out. When I get that done and over with, when I'm not working on that, when I'm done working on the episode, which is still coming, I'll add. But be sure to hit the subscribe button for more of the content. Hit the like button if you liked it. Leave your own top 6 or top 10 down in the comments below. And coming next, even though I said it in last week's, but this time for sure, is my top 6 favorite football teams. That's for sure, guys. I'll see you guys then. Goodbye.